speak in longer phrases. What in the world do I mean when I say speak in longer phrases? My name is Farrukh. I'm a certified Pro90d speech coach. And in this video, let's talk about the idea of maintaining a greater amount of flow while you're speaking. If you notice, many of the people who struggle with their speech, let it be stuttering, stammering, or something else, oftentimes they get quite choppy with their speech. So instead of speaking in a flow, they start to speak either word by word, or even if it's not word by word, they start to speak in very short phrases, where in each phrase they would say some words and then they would take a gap. So they start to really pause a lot. When you speak like that, your speech becomes quite choppy and you're constantly giving your brain a chance, like we have discussed in the past, to look ahead, anticipate words, look out for them, worry about them. One thing that you can start doing is that in each breath, try to maintain a longer phrase. So before you pause the next time, say more in a single breath. So, for example, saying more in a single breath would mean speaking like this. And then, wherever you feel like you need to breathe again, you just pause, breathe again, and then say the next phrase. Now, I don't mean that you keep on speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking, but wherever you feel like, hey, I need to breathe again, you just pause, breathe, and then again speak. But what you're doing right here is that you're trying to elongate your phrases. You're trying to say more in a single breath. And saying more in a single breath would only happen if you have enough air inside your system, which means that you also have to breathe more. So the more you breathe, the more frequently, the more deeply, the more slow, let's say, you breathe, the better you would be able to fill up your lungs and the longer phrase you would be able to say on that single breath. Now, when you're saying that long phrase in that single breath, try to link your words as tight as you can and try to maintain the flow as you're speaking. There should be no gap in between the words when you're speaking. There should be no gap in between the sounds. You would only take a gap where you need to pause, breathe again, and then again speak. Then, wherever you feel like I need to breathe again, pause, breathe, and then again speak. So, try to speak in longer phrases. If you're used to saying three words in a single breath, move on to four, then move on to five. Slightly move yourself forward and make yourself more and more comfortable with saying more in a single breath by breathing more first and by blending your words and keep going with the flow until you feel like I need to pause, breathe again, and then again do the same thing. It's similar to what we do in the free flow speaking exercise where we breathe, extend and blend, breathe, extend and blend, breathe, extend and blend, right? So while you're doing that, try to make your phrases as long as you can. Only pause where you feel like I need to breathe, then pause, breathe, again do the same thing and keep speaking smoothly. Let me know in the comments how it's working for you. I'll see you in the next one.